Hi Aries, how's everybody doing? Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. So it looks like there's some type of conflict. This can be with somebody you live with, a parent, somebody you work with, or it can be feeling conflicted about a job and or responsibilities. I had to break it down every which way because there are a lot of different angles this can be coming from. Let's get further. I'm seeing a tower that we are starting off with. This represents some strong Mars energy. Something could have come to a head. I'm seeing something happening unexpectedly, and when it does, I'm seeing you be there to catch it and set boundaries. I'm feeling like a lot of heat all over right now. This is something that, like, maybe you even physically reacted to this. I get the feeling that you may not have particularly been anticipating this, and I'm getting that, like, your response needed to be as the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords being in that energy is reading the room, understanding how you want to assert yourself, setting very clear boundaries, and then following through with what those boundaries are. But I'm seeing this be more so like something happened and you were called to take action and respond immediately to something. I'm seeing even the energy of like lava coming out of a volcano, and if you set boundaries you can kind of like tape off the area so as not to be like completely impacted by this. But if you don't tape off the area, I'm seeing it's going to like leak over into you and what's going on for you. So there's something about needing to like size this thing up and set boundaries with the tower. It also looks like this is an opportunity for you to heal something through standing your ground and setting boundaries and being very firm in this. Even an unexpected ending. I'm hearing the word spontaneous. This could be somebody that at some point you were close with this person. It looks like there was something going on. Something going on within the dynamic that was hot and cold. I'm hearing the word shift. I'm looking at the Knight of Wands here. Yeah, I'm seeing something like very unexpectedly. Something like surprised you. I don't know if it was like the ending that surprised you, or the ending that happened spontaneously, or something happening and then something needed to come to an end. Either way, I'm seeing that it ends up leading to an end. I'm getting that this was definitely meant to happen. I saw 444 on the time when I looked up. Definitely guided. But it's something that you still may be in your head about. What it looks like is that you may not have anticipated something coming to an end, and I'm seeing something that is definitely impacting your head in some way. There's also something here about setting boundaries, making progress, especially when times feel even emotionally confusing. You may even be feeling confused about something. I'm seeing something that it's like you may still be trying to even like wrap your head around something. Something that happened is what I'm hearing. It could have been something that was getting off the ground or had potential and then did not go as expected. I'm trying to get the timeline right with this. Just give me a second. So yeah, maybe you didn't anticipate something coming to an end. And it looks like it's something that you're still processing. Like you could even be asking yourself about the way that you went about participating in something, at least like verbally what you were communicating, even subtly what was being communicated. It even looks like there could have been a situation that was unfolding and maybe you were having a hard time like sorting out what was going on emotionally for you, and so like your safest bet was to set boundaries, maybe like even to protect yourself within a situation as the Queen of Swords, because it could have been something like you were trying to make out emotionally what was going on, or like maybe you weren't sure how you were feeling, so you were like, I'm gonna nip this in the bud right here. I'm seeing too something coming to fruition about you integrating someone into your life or uniting with somebody and having a new opportunity, and it's going to give you the option to heal something that needed to be healed in relation to impulsivity or even something underdeveloped, that now you have the option to kind of grow through this experience. This could have even been something that happened where like maybe something was at a pace that you felt uncomfortable with, or like things were happening in a way where like maybe there was an energy that you were involved with that you didn't like what was happening within the dynamic, and like maybe it went in a direction that you didn't particularly appreciate. And maybe it hadn't been something that you anticipated, but it looks like something that like now I'm seeing you have the ability to heal something that had not been healed before. So it even feels like a redo to address something that needed to be addressed, that like maybe in the past you had been like, oh, if I get another opportunity or I'm put in a situation like this, I'm gonna fix it next time. And maybe you had that opportunity to fix something or to do it in a way that you felt good about the way that you did it. Because I'm even seeing like something be offered to you, and when it was offered to you, you could have been like, okay, my first response is that I feel very stuck in my head about this and I don't know how to respond to it. The second step of feeling what I'm feeling is that I feel all over the place and I'm not really sure how I feel about this. And lastly, there was a moment of like, when you even realize what's being handed to you, you're like, maybe feel disappointed about that. Because it could have even been something that was handed to you and somebody being like, here, this is wrapped in gold, and it's like when you unwrap it, it's not gold all the way through. Something like that. Yeah, I'm even getting a notion of like biting into something and being like, that's not what I thought it was going to be. But the way that it's presented to you is like different than what it actually is. This is what I'm getting. I'm seeing you step into a space where you're kind of putting on a face where you are going to handle this as responsibly as possible. You may even take something that you know from maybe like, I'm almost getting a situation where something could be happening in your personal life and you may like take resources that you know based off of like even work that you do and use them to apply it to a situation going on within your personal life. Something like that helps you sort through this situation. Or this could even be a problem that you were having at work, potentially. That, like, because of a sense of even, like, professionalism, you were able to resolve something that was going on. In the first spread, I'm looking at Mars and Aquarius. In this one, I'm looking at Mercury, Cancer, and Pluto. Yeah, I do feel like you took like some wisdom from an area of your life and then applied that to your personal life in a situation that was happening. It's like you took some sort of know-how and applied it successfully. I'm even seeing something about being established within the career to some degree. It looks like, too, somebody could have been trying to pull you into something, and intuitively you were like, what do I actually feel is going on here energetically? If I look beyond just the interaction, what am I feeling actually? And you may have made the decision to turn something down. At first, there could have been like a little bit of a faltering when it came to your intuition, like maybe something that you hadn't been completely connected with. But if you gave it time to sink in, then something would have connected, is what I'm seeing. This can even be needing to turn something down, but doing so in a way that you're like meticulous about this or careful with the way that you do this, or like very conscientious. And getting to the point where you're actually ready to make a decision. I'm seeing something where you're not rushing yourself to make a decision, but you may be aware that a decision needs to be made within a particular time frame. Something looks like it's either time sensitive or it's something that like you need to make a choice with. Like you already know what direction to go in, you just may not have actually taken action. It's something that, like, you want to be mindful of not to get complacent with, is what I'm seeing. I'm also seeing something, too, about recognizing... Yeah, it looks like it's related to a message. You replying, you communicating. Something about an opportunity. So, I'm seeing you be in the place of the magician here, and being like, I'm aware of what I'm trying to manifest in my life in relation to my pursuit of happiness, and I know that it's going to take some time to get there, and I know that I need to be very conscientious about how I'm transmuting energy, how I'm handling obstacles when I face them, especially within my interpersonal relationships, whether this be at work or within your personal life or both. It has to do with, like, the way that you interact with other energies. Because I'm seeing, like, it looks like something was an obstacle, but the more you're being temperance with it, the more you're able to figure out, like, how you want to interact within the space. And I am seeing a direction that needs to be interesting. I'm hearing a direction that needs to be made. It seems like a direction you want to go in, a choice that needs to be made. And this is something that could impact either your home life or your work life. Or it could be with some sort of masculine figure within your life. This can be somebody that may have something to do with, like, your finances, or could potentially impact your finances in a way. It's somebody that I'm getting the feeling of you, like, being able to, like, analyze and understand a particular, like, person or energy within your life. Or even something about your own role. And some sort of intuitive message that you get is going to help you make a decision. It's going to help you reflect on whether or not something actually resonates with you, and whether or not you want to maybe, like, participate and or accept something. It looks like an opportunity or something being handed to you. I'm even hearing invitation, maybe somewhere you had been invited to, or something you had been invited to. I'm seeing this be a karmic test. This is about checking in with yourself and asking yourself, are your standards being met? Is there a sense of reciprocity genuinely? Is somebody making an offer coming from a place where they're actually making an offer to you unconditionally, or are they making an offer to you expecting something from you? And is that in alignment with you? Because the Six of Pentacles can speak about generosity, and maybe even someone being generous with you and offering you something. But the test is to find out, like, is this person doing it from a space where they're giving you something and not expecting something in return, or is this transactional? And what's your gut feeling on that? And do you resonate with that? And are expectations being expressed? Do you feel even like something subliminally is going on here? Mercury, Sagittarius, Cancer, the Moon, Pluto. I'm seeing you even be like, somebody could be offering you something, and you may be like, you know what, I don't like what's tied to that, so I'm not gonna take that. It's almost like somebody giving you something that's, like, too expensive and you turning it down, but maybe, like, expensive energetically. As I said before, it could be something transactionally where you're like, if I accept this, you're going to be expecting this from me, and that's not something that I want to be a part of. Like, something costs too much. It looks like something costs too much, maybe emotionally, with the Queen of Cups here. And maybe you feel like something would be out of balance emotionally. You know when somebody like offers you something or invites you in and then they feel like they have some sort of power over you, or they imply that they would. It could have been a situation like that where you may feel like you like could have been being manipulated emotionally, like somebody's offering something to you but then like to have control over you emotionally, or to kind of like use you even. Or maybe you just feel like something wouldn't be fair emotionally for you. Like there's almost a sense of like maybe even entitlement here. Or you could have even felt like somebody could have potentially been like emotionally manipulative. But I'm getting with the Six of Pentacles, it could have been by something that they were like offering to you, or offering to give to you. Like this can be somebody like, say for example, it's a client trying to be like, oh, I'll pay you to do this, and it's like something that emotionally or energetically you feel uncomfortable with, so you're like, I don't care how much money you give me, this is off the table, I'm not doing that. And I mean, that can really be anybody within your life, like maybe even trying to buy you in some way, like emotionally, energetically, creatively, even with the Queen of Wands here. But you have to do what's right for you emotionally, and that's what's going to help you decide whether or not this is the type of thing that you want to accept or participate in. Because it looks like your decision is going to affect the outcome of what happens. Because if you make the choice to stay true to yourself and do what feels right, like morally, in alignment with you, this is an opportunity for you to like really take your power back even from a situation by making this empowering move for you. I'm even seeing this be like, yeah, maybe in some way it was like you could have like compromised your morals within a situation. Or like somebody wanted you to compromise something, and then the response would be like you responding in a way that you feel like is justified for the situation. With justice here, it's like, what is just, what is balance, the move that you believe carries the most integrity with it. And I'm seeing like karmically that really benefit you in the way that that impacts you, and also how you're perceiving yourself, especially your like divine feminine empowerment energy. And I'm seeing you like even recognize your power when you look within. Like I'm seeing you reflect and recognize yourself as the Empress within this situation. And it looks like karmically you get something new. This looks like a big thing. It looks like karmically something very big is being resolved, or you're getting to the end of a chapter here to end with the Fool. So you analyze the situation and you ask yourself, is this fair? Does this agree with me? Is this in alignment with me? Especially emotionally, is this right for me to do? You make a decision based off of that. And because you do, I'm seeing you come out feeling very confident about a decision that you made and feeling like extremely empowered by the way that you handled this opportunity because you reflected and learned what you needed to learn. And I'm seeing that kind of like elevate you in a way where it looks like you're going through some sort of ascension personally, where like you get to break into a new cycle now. So it looks very much like a completion here. I'm looking at Libra, Jupiter, Venus, Virgo, and Uranus all in a row here. Wow, very nice, Aries. That looks like there was some situation that you may have had the opportunity now to like clean up or tie up in some way. And it looks like something that like may have been unresolved for quite some time, that now you found some sort of resolve within. I'm feeling numbness in my pinky. This was happening in one of the other readings that I did today. It was either Aquarius, Gemini, or Taurus, and I'm feeling it come back in this reading. So you may have something going on with, like, maybe it was the Aquarian reading. Something with, like, your nerves or something physically going on. Alright, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.